Okay, I think we got it. So, using some new streaming, multi-streaming software, OneStream Live, and they just implemented their LinkedIn integration, and so I'm getting up to speed on that, and it looks like good software, but it's got a few quirks that I got to learn. So, but hey, Tom Ballard, the groundwater guy here, and we were talking yesterday on Groundwater Talk Live about drought in California, but I had an article come up today that I really wanted to talk to you a little bit about too. Just more drought actions. This is actually going on in Chile right now, and some pretty extreme drought measures on there. So let me just, if I can pop over here to let me look at this article here. Pop that up. So we got Chile is announcing unprecedented water rationing plan as drought enters 13th year. So California that we talked about yesterday has had some on and off again drought in 5 years going on. So a pretty severe drought in California, but Chile is going on 13 years, and it is really impacting them. So they're taking some pretty extreme measures here. We're going to look at that just real quick here in this article. I thought it was interesting. This article is from Asia One, and what we're seeing is in Santiago, which is the capital city of Chile, which is a city of almost 6 million people, is really being impacted here. There's two rivers that flow through the city. And I hope I'm saying this correctly, the Maipo and the Mapocho rivers that supply most of the water. So they're basically got surface water that's supplying the city, and these rivers just are drying up right now. So um, they're in a pretty unprecedented situation. And so what they're doing is they're implementing a four-tier alert system that goes from green to red. Starts with public service announcements, moved into restricting water pressure, and ends with rotating water cuts of up to 24 hours for about 1.7 million customers. So when you get to that red level, you're talking some pretty serious water cuts of 24 hours or so for over 1.5 million customers. So that's pretty significant. But they just don't have any water in the area. So we're running into that particular problem here. So they've estimated here that the country's water availability has dropped to like 37% over the last 30 years, and could drop another 50% northern and central Chile by 2060. So they're expecting long-term effects here. Now we can argue back and forth once again whether this is the effect of man-made climate change, or it's just normal climate change that goes on in climate cycles. But the bottom line is they're experiencing this long-term drought, and it is impacting a big city, 6 million people, with some pretty severe water shortages. Um, so this is what's going on here. But what I wanted to point out here is something that yeah, the water is drying up, and these cuts aren't applying to areas that deal with groundwater. Although that, we don't know what their groundwater situation is there too. But if I can go to this to the next and show you really on Google Earth here uh, what we have going on. So let's look at Santiago actually. So let's go down here and take a look. So here we have Santiago, Chile, and let's back out here a little bit, and we can see that. Let's close that out. So here's Santiago, Chile. It is a city of almost 6 million people. This is the Mapocho River here flowing through up here, and the Maipo River is this river flowing through down here. So to the south is the Maipo River. In the northern part of Santiago, going through the central part of Santiago, is the Mapocho River. So these are their main water supply, surface water supply. But if we zoom out here a little bit, we will see that Chile has a coastline. And if we zoom way out here, the yellow boundary here is Chile, and we have a coastline of over 2,000 miles on the Pacific coast. So, and one of the things we can see if we zoom in here is that we have, first let me show you how far it is. So we can use the handy dandy Google mapping tool here. And so we'll just look and see from Santiago how far it is to the coast here. So let's go out here and we can see from the edge of Santiago, it's about 50 miles to the coast. So as the crow flies. Now, obviously, you have some mountainous terrain here, and so so that is going to be some issues here. But one thing we don't see as we zoom in on the coast, and I'm not seeing it. It may be there, but I'm not seeing it anywhere. Is what you might expect would be an answer to some of their problem with a coastline like that would be desalination plants. So where are these things? Granted, you have some engineering challenges of 50 miles or more to pipe water from a desalination plant up the mountains to Santiago. But if you're dealing with unprecedented water shortages, then it may be time to start looking at something like that here. And I am not seeing anything obvious to me in the way of desalination plants. That would certainly be one answer for them, other than just basically turning off the spigot is what they're looking at now. So that is kind of the situation there, and it puzzles me a little bit. Have they even considered this? I don't know, but it's just something that that comes to mind is we have an unprecedented water shortage. We're looking at shutting off the tap. Yet, have we considered all our options? And have they considered a desalination plant? Are there engineering challenges that can't really be overcome with putting in a desalination plant and pumping it uphill to Santiago through some mountainous terrain? That is definitely challenging, but certainly not unprecedented, and certainly something you can that probably needs to be looked at. There's no mention of it that I could easily find, but surely somebody must have looked at this here. But I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious here that they are in a very severe 13-year drought, but I'm not seeing any desalination plants being developed, and that might be the answer to their problem. So what is up with that? So I just throw the question out here on the table. So anyhow, whatever your opinions are, post your comments below. Maybe you have some more knowledge on this than I do, but I'd really like to hear from you on this and see what you think. Certainly we're dealing with some climatic change, whether it's man-made or just naturally climate cycles that are severely affecting population centers like Santiago, Chile. A 13-year drought is no laughing matter. So why aren't they doing everything they can to mitigate their water shortages by looking at desalination and possibly some other solutions might be out there? So I'd be interested in your comments on this. So post them below and let me know what you think. Lastly, make sure you tune in to Groundwater Talk Live every Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Central Time, where we talk about a lot of groundwater issues. And this is just one of them that popped up that I decided to do a quick live in between, so you can see what's going on with this and just kind of solicit your comments and see what you think. So thank you very much for listening.